Hi guys, SimplySavannah here. Welcome back to the channel, and anybody that's new here, or the new subscribers that have subscribed, thank you so much and welcome. So in the last episode what we did is we made the chicken coop and the Highland cow. What I have done in between filming is just included a couple of extra bits here and there. Like I've just added, I've just added these signs. So these are lions signs, so I can show you the back of them a little bit later. I've just made this little market that I was on about previous as well. So this has just got little stalls inside, just kind of like soda stores, or fizzy pop as we call it over here. We've got smoothies, we've got water, and then we've got like a little cake shop. Just used a couple of the props as well. And then we've got the fry shop as well. Let me just move them back, so they're literally stood in them. Just want to move it back just to where they're not gonna stand in it, but it still looks kind of effective. Obviously they're gonna walk through there. So I had a pretty cool idea as well, just to kind of, once it's done, I wanted some free roaming peacocks, but I'm not sure if that's gonna still be the case. But in today's episode what we're gonna do is we're going to make the little lamb / sheep field here. I'm gonna make this kind of like a little walkthrough. Obviously I've hidden as well as I can the entrance and all the staff facilities down here, so I'm just going to have this as just like a little area. It's not going to be massive. We're going to put like a tiny little shelter here for them, and then there's going to be loads of foliage, and it's just going to be really quite simple for the lambs. And then on this side, this is going to be the alpaca walkthrough. I'm going to kind of make it like a walk-in style thing, you know, where you kind of go in the UK, you pick an alpaca and you can go walking with it, so you kind of walk around a course. I'm going to try that there. And then here I'm going to build like a little gift shop. And then what I've done is I've just made these markers, so this is just where we're going to plan and expand into. And then just here I've added a tiny little teaser, so I'll come over here quickly, and if you can see it, then you know what's coming next. But if not, then we'll be coming back to that one in the next episode. So I'm going to crack on straight away. What I have done is I've downloaded some pretty cool blueprints off the workshop which I want to try for fencing. So let me just find those, and then I can crack straight on and I can pop them down. So it wasn't those ones, it was quite a new one. It was on the front page of the workshop today, and I saw them and I thought they look pretty cool, so I'm gonna give them. And as always, I'll link them all down below as well. For the life of, there we are, farm ranch, so it's these ones. So what I'll do is I will just pop them about there, and then what we'll do is we'll just decide which ones we want to use. So we want to keep obviously with that kind of rustic theme, so we're probably going to go with this one. And pretty much what I'm going to do is, because this is kind of like a post and rail fence, I'm literally just going to kind of align it up as best as possible, and then we're probably going to have sections in it like that. So what I might do as well is I might just add like potentially like a little stone pillar, but not 100% sure at the moment. So let's just kind of go in. I'll pop this bit into speed build just while I'm going, but what I will do is I'll just talk over, just so obviously we can kind of, just so we don't have the music. Obviously still figuring out the best editing style for this. So yeah, pretty much what I'll do is I'll pop into speed build. Obviously I'll keep talking as normal, but when we come back all of these will be done. So we've had some pretty good weather in the UK this week, which is really good. It's normally absolutely lashing it down, which means raining, depending where you're from. I don't know if that's a Derbyshire thing, but we always say that. There's loads of different sayings around the UK for loads of different things. It's quite a big debate at work as well, what we call cobs, because I know people in the UK call them barms, rolls, I can't think of the other ones, bats. There's all sorts of different names for them, but they're cobs, and I will argue to the death of that. So pretty much what I want to do is I just want to grab this group here. So let's just go into the edit group, and I'm just going to grab a section of this wall, just same as what we did last time, and I'm going to keep the plants on, because what I can do is I can just edit them, just kind of move them around as I need them. So I'm thinking if we do them like that, it just kind of looks like a little bundle, and then obviously we can kind of just edit out what we don't need. So if I just go around here, and then I'm probably going to take it to there, I think. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hop out of this and just grab these fences again. What I'll probably need to do as well is I probably will need to lower these, because I think they're a little bit too high. So let me just push that out just so we've got the good side facing the guests. And then maybe if we go to about there, I think that'll be quite good. And then let me just pop the small habitat gate in now while I'm thinking about it, just so I can match it up as best as possible. I know obviously we've not got a barrier there already, so I just need to try and get it as kind of close as possible. So I'm probably going to go about here, I think, because that's probably the closest we're going to be able to get it. And then what we're going to have to do here is we're just going to have to make it work as best as possible. So let's just try a couple of different things. Like I say, it's easy enough to get around these. The way I'm thinking of doing it is just literally doing this, and then same trick as what we used last time, hopping into the group, grabbing a little bit of the wall, and literally just kind of patching it up. Because like I say, this wall is pretty versatile on what you want it to do. So just kind of like that, I can pretty much make something that's kind of effective. Yeah, I'm just going to go around and actually lower the height of all of these fences here because they are way too high. Sorry. So let me just grab them, and then if we just look from this kind of angle, so I think if we do something like that, I think that'll be okay. So I'm thinking what I could also do as well is I could delete this one out because I need a space for the keeper gate as well. So I don't want the guests to come in here yet, so we're just going to pause that, and then I'm going to grab the path, the trusty path that we've been using all the way through. So let me just try something, because I know last time I tried to make it so the soil was the one selected, so I don't know if you actually have to use the soil, so let's just come over here out of the way. So I don't know if you have to have it already used, because then on these ones as well, so yeah, so natural path that marks your terrain with curb railings, or there's a natural path which marks your terrain with curb markers. So I might use that one because that's the one that we've used. But whether, no, it's just going to do, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if it is just a standard one for this path. If any of the players that have been playing Planet Zoo for many years, please let me know down below. So I'm not 100% sure if you can change the effect on this one. What I have done here is I've just manually changed it, but I don't think where it says marks your terrain, I don't think that takes into account your actual terrain that you've got selected, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think there's any settings or anything. No, that's weird, I don't know, but I am actually going to put the curb markers on this. I do quite like the curb markers, and I think it's quite cool for a little sheep pen as well. So let's just pop them around here. Okay, that's fine. And I was just about to say, I've never actually seen a sheep walkthrough, but I actually went to one last weekend. So at Peak Wildlife Park, they actually have sheep in with their lemur families. So I think they've got like 4 species of lemurs, which are quite interactive. They do come up to you. One of them was quite mischievous when we was there and tried to do a little escape, but they managed to get him in time. But they have Cameroon sheep in with them, and luckily, because I wanted to ask the question, but I'm quite nervous when it comes to stuff like that, so I kind of just take a back seat and listen. But some guy did ask why they have sheep in there, and they are literally just there to cut the grass, he said. So it's pretty clever if you ask me. So let's just get around the edge with these. So yeah, I'd never actually been to Peak Wildlife Park before, but I actually had a really good time. It's quite a small zoo, well, wildlife park. They have recently had polar bears as well, which is really cool. I think they came over from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. I think the mum of the polar bears is quite well known. She's called Hope, and I think she was quite well known either in Sweden or somewhere else in Europe. I'll have to double check that one, and I'll pop a little comment up here or something just to find out the origins. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I say, it's a really small park, but they seem to be doing really well, so that's good. I had a really good time. Like I say, it was really interactive. I like interactive stuff, and yeah, we had a pretty cool time. Me and my friend went, so we'll definitely be going back at some point because, like I said, I proper enjoyed it. So let's just get the small habitat gate into this enclosure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same as what we always do and pinch it. So we're going to pinch something from here. And I also realise as well when I'm saying that people aren't probably going to understand what I'm saying, but I say that quite a lot. So it means to kind of like steal or grab something, like to pinch it. I don't know. Don't ask me why I say it because I don't know. But yeah, I guess that might be another Derbyshire thing. I don't know. But I've never really thought about it, to be quite honest. But I guess we've got very odd sayings and bits and bobs, but it's fine. So just to patch that up like that, I think that works okay. I might move that one because I'm not happy with the placement of that. So maybe if I move that one as well, because that sticks up, I might just pop that there. And then what I'll probably do is just move that into place like that. And then I'm probably going to move that down a little bit like that. So it just gives the effect that it's quite weathered and it's kind of just there being held together. So what I want to do here is I just want to create like a very small little stable. So let's have a look and see what pieces we can use. So I'm thinking for the bottom of the stable, I'm going to use the European brick pieces because I think they're quite effective and they look really, really good. So I'm going to use these ones. I'm probably going to have it about there. It's not going to be massive. It's only going to be a little small stable for them. Probably something like that, and then probably going to close it off here and have it at like an angle so they can come in. So let me just get that into a position that I'll be happy with. Kind of like that, just so the guests can stand here and actually see into the stable as well. So let's just grab some wood pieces. So I want some quite dark wood pieces, so I think I'm going to use the stained wood. So I think that's going to be the most effective. So I think if we just recolour that to possibly a colour, that one that we've used before. And let's just get it aligned up as best as possible. So obviously all these are on the grid. And then what I want to do here is I just want to have kind of like a little stone bit on the front here, I think. So let's just pop back to those European stone pieces and just see if they've got any smaller bits. So I just saw something. What's these? European bridge support. No, we don't want them. So we're not building the bridge. I could do with something just like that, I think. So I'm kind of thinking if I go to that kind of angle, just kind of sink it down like that. Just make sure that random rotation is off. And then what I can do is I can just kind of go to there for now. And then what I can do with these is I can just select them all and I can just kind of figure them. 1 second. We just turn angle snap off. And we want to be hitting X, not Control X. So I'm thinking just like that. So that's kind of what I wanted, something a little bit like that. What I could actually do as well is just make it just kind of like a tiny little step, just so that they don't have to go up too far. So let's just use the shorter grass terrain just to get the grass out of there. And then what I'm going to do here is just focus on the actual front of the building. So what I can use here is I can just use my angles now that I've got this all in place. So let's just select them and Control X those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag them up and just drag them into position like that. So because obviously this is on show, I need to be a little bit more careful with the placement. So let's just have a little play around with that until I've got it where I need it. So if I just sink that back, okay, that sticks out that side, that's fine. What I am going to do, I'm going to put it like that, and then I'm literally just going to move it in very slightly like that. So I just want it to be as flush. Oh, that didn't register. So I just want it to be as flush as possible. And then we're going to lift that like that. And then I think that works like that. So let's just have a look at the roofs and just see what roof we can use on this. So I'm thinking possibly something like this, to be quite honest. Probably like the Arctic roof, because I think it's quite simple. Like I said, I don't want it to be too crazy. I literally just want a very small, something like that. Maybe like that actually, I think that could work. And then what I can do is I could put a little support beam there, but I think that'll be fine because we've got like the roof beams, I think they're called, already joist. I can't remember what they're actually called, but I don't know because I'm not a roofer, unfortunately. I wouldn't trust myself roofing, so I'd probably put it on wrong, or I'd put a hole in my head or something. I don't know. Quite clumsy, so I stick away from that job. Right, okay, so I think pretty much how I've got it now, that's going to work. I might add some little windows and stuff actually, because I think they'd be quite effective. So let's just have a look at what windows we've got. So I want kind of like some little rustic looking windows. Could we use these? Let's just align them to, oh, not to the water, to the surface. Yeah, I guess we could use them. Yeah, let's use that. Right, so we're 3 away from that side, so we'll do 3 away from this side as well. Okay, just like that. And then if we do 3 away from there, I'm aware it's not going to be the same height, but if we get it as close as we can, it should be okay. What I'm probably going to do as well is I'm probably going to go around this building just with some of the wood beams. Probably going to use the painted ones, so let's just see what we've got. So I'm thinking if we use, let's have a look. We can recolour them, which is good. So let's just have a look, see what it looks like if we use the 2 meter. Just make sure angle snap is back on. So I think if we go kind of like that, I think that could work. Right, let's just move that to there like that. I just want to see how far out. We've not got much wriggle room with that, so we'll just use a 1 meter piece, just like that. And then if I flip that round, I can potentially use the 1 meter piece all the way down. So obviously let's just sink that in to roughly about where we were before. So saying that, we can probably actually delete this 1 meter piece because we're probably not going to need it. If we stick with the 4 meters all the way around, we should be fine. So let me just do that. Probably might just need one just on the end here, but it's okay, it doesn't matter too much. Like I say, this is the back. Obviously the guests will still be able to see this, but it's not the end of the world. So if we just go all the way to the end, and yeah, shock horror, it's a little bit short, but it's not the end of the world. When there's a will, there's a way. Oh, don't want that. We want that access. Right, so let's just pop the final one in place. And then again, we're just going to have to use the 1 meter. Tiny little bit of Z fighting going on here and here, but the only way I can think to kind of fix that is to just literally drop it back slightly like that. And then possibly here as well. Just kind of dropping it down like that. That's the only way you're going to be able to actually fix, well not fix, but remedy the Z fighting in game. But like I say, I'm not too bothered about it at the end of the day, it's alright from my side. What I might do is I might actually use these twilight beams. Possibly on, let's turn the line surface off. And what I want to do is I want to get it near to that strut, so let me just get that. I'm calling them struts very confidently, but I really don't know if that's what they're called. If we've got any roofers, please correct me, because I'm not sure. I really don't know what they're called, so I don't want to get it wrong. We'll just call them roof bits for now. I think that works. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. What I might do is I might just grab some of the stained wood, because I think you can actually get the stained wood in the smaller off the grid pieces, just like this. So what I'm going to do is just turn on Just check. So the angle snap's still on, that's fine. So that aligns up okay. So what I can do here is what I'm thinking is just having potentially a smaller entrance. But I don't know whether to kind of go all the way up like that on both sides and just have that as kind of like a little hole for them to get into. But I think that might be okay actually. Yeah, I think that'd be fine because it's more of an off-stage area. I think I'm pretty happy with the stable like that, to be quite honest. Like I say, it's just a little piece. The guests aren't going to be able to get through that, I don't think. I'm kind of hoping as well at some point Frontier do kind of make it so the guests only stay on the path, because at the moment they do go a little bit crazy. If we go around to the goat exhibit, and typical, this isn't a very good example because they're all pretty much on the path, but yeah, they do go a little bit crazy. Whilst I'm here as well, I just want to show you this that I made off camera. So I just made this little barn. It's just something to add because I thought this space here was quite empty, so I just added a little bit of something. I haven't added anything else around the rest of the park so far. Like I said, I've only got the sheep to do now, so while I'm thinking about it as well, I am going to grab the sheep just so we can get them into their enclosure. So the Hill Radnor Sheep. So let me just check the Zoopedia just to check how many. So I presume it's 1 ram and up to 5 males and 49 females. That's crazy. I would have thought the rams would have been fighting and stuff, but that's fine. I'm only going to do 1 ram because I don't want it to be like completely mad. So let's just grab a load of females, and then I'm going to grab, I think that'll do for now. Or do we grab, let's just grab them. No, we're going to keep it there. We're not going to go too crazy. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unpause here, and I'm going to pop them straight into the enclosure, just so I know where I'm at. And then it's just going to be easier if I do that and untick the peacocks. So let's pop them in straight away. So I'm hoping that the guests don't go in straight away. So whilst we're doing that, what I can do is I'm hoping I can just add one of the barriers just in front like that, just for the time being, just to stop them going in. I think if we had that like that, they won't go in for now. So they'll see that this area is kind of closed, but we'll just we'll cross our fingers and hope that they don't go in. So let's just wait for the sheep to come around. They're just coming around now. So obviously we're playing in sandbox mode, so we don't need to as such worry about the quarantines and stuff. It's probably a good idea, but like I say, it's not required. So we're just gonna kind of leave it as we are, so it should be fine. So I'm hoping that this enclosure will be okay. Obviously I know we don't need to worry about escapes and stuff because I've got them turned off. But just for kind of realism, I'm going to put, similar to what we've done, we have done it somewhere here, probably going to put some of these around. So I think it was on the first episode I did kind of go through that it is quite common to see this in the UK, that farmers, instead of repairing the wall, they will just kind of patch it up, which I think is quite cost effective if I'm being honest. I can't imagine how much it would cost to actually kind of redo all of these kind of walls. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do that, to possibly let it there like that, and then because I've got angle snap off, what I can do is I can literally just move that in like that, and just get it as close to that wall as possible. So I want it roughly about there, I think. Then let's move that back, and then just for, I say the sake of realism, I'm not going for a realistic build at all. Like I say, we're just having a fun time at the farm and just hoping for the best. So let's just get rid of these rocks. so they're not all poking out all the time. And I think where I'm at with that, that's quite accurate. So I think that'll be fine. So if we come out of that, that will be completely fine. So I'm thinking of just kind of sticking with the existing palette of foliage and stuff which we used here. So I quite like these. For saying it was put together quite quickly, I do really like these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, excluding that, I'm going to Control and D, and pretty much, so I don't want it to be as structured as that one, but I am going to turn on, let me get rid of that because I want random rotation on. So for some reason you can't do that when you've got everything selected, but if you just pop out and go back, it should work. So let's just give that, no, it still doesn't work. So you can't have random rotation on with these items, but it's not the end of the world, it's completely fine. So I'm just going to kind of, not so much carelessly place them, just going to kind of place them where I think quite a lot of foliage would kind of gather. So I'm thinking here, obviously this could be where a tractor or something kind of comes in, and then maybe pop some here, maybe pop some here as well, kind of rotating, just kind of feather that out. I will do the same for these bits here as well. I shall kind of sink it down even more just to make it look like it's blended in with the surrounding areas. So I think that's quite effective when you do it like that. And I could potentially just kind of join these little pieces up. Let's just do that here, so possibly there like that, and then let's just sink these bits down. Okay, so let me just go back. So I want to use quite a lot of the buffalo grass as well, because I think that's also really effective in these farm builds. So I'm just going to grab the larger ones, yeah, that's fine. So I'm also just going to, right, so we can use random rotation with this, so that's brilliant. So obviously with them being sheep, I feel like they need quite a lot of grass to graze on. So we're just going to add quite a lot of bundles in here. And I'm also going to make these areas quite rocky as well. I'm going to use quite a lot of like sunken rocks and stuff. Obviously with them being from Wales, I have been to Wales before, but not for a very long time. It's been a good 13 years of it. And I didn't really go to, I believe they call it the valleys, where it's quite rural. But I went to Llandudno and Colwyn Bay. Not for anything exciting, it was for, surprisingly, football. I'm not a massive fan of football, so I don't know why I went, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much, I don't know too much about Wales, so if we've got any Welsh watchers down below, please share some interesting facts, because I would love to know. So I'm thinking, if I kind of stick with this kind of theme, I think that'd be quite cool. So obviously making it a little bit higher up at the sides as well, because obviously we want to make it look like they're sticking more towards the paths and stuff. What I am going to do as well is I'm just going to mix it up just so we've got a little bit of variation, just to give it a bit more colour as well. So if you don't want it to be all the same colour, and it also blends in with these bits as well. It kind of makes it look like there's not been any rain as well for a little while, and it just gives a bit of texture to the ground, which is cool. So let's just add them like that. And what I'll also do as well is I will just use the shorter grass terrain around this area. So let's just add a few more bits here and there. Maybe add some here, let's sink some down. Okay, and then into the terrain. So I don't want to get too close to the path. I'd like to keep it shorter here, I think. Maybe we could make a little path here where they've kind of eaten away. And then here I wanted to add some, because then the rest obviously I want to kind of keep it, because it blends in really nice and it looks quite effective. So let me just pop that down to 2. And then what we're going to do the same, so I'm just going to turn it down to about 60, I think. And I'm literally just going to, it's really intense, I don't know why. Literally just going to kind of make it look like this bit here is kind of used to walk around. So I don't want it too crazy, but it's just kind of where the guests would kind of gather obviously on these bits here where they can get closer, and probably here. And then obviously I want it quite dark here because this would be where they kind of come in and out as well. So let me just kind of blend that out as well. I think here I'm probably going to use some of them. And then I also think on the edges of the path as well I might use some more kind of rough terrain. Because obviously sometimes the edges of this path can get a little bit jaggedy like that. So obviously from far it looks a little bit crazy, but it's fine. So I'll probably just add some bits in like that. Have we got any other crazy path bits that need sorting? We can probably add some here, to be fair. Just on these corners. Maybe not there actually, let's just get rid of that. And then obviously I had what I do want to do here actually, I don't know if I can make it work, but I want to make it look like kind of a tractor's been through here. So obviously they kind of make these not as intense as that, but it's fine, that is. And then what I can do, so when the tyres kind of come through, you see it quite commonly, is that they make like mud tracks where the tyres have been. So I'm thinking if I go like that, potentially join it up to the path a bit, and then what I can do is I can just click down the middle, just to make it lighter, and just kind of click on either side, just like that. So it just kind of makes it look like this is where the access kind of comes through. It's just a little bit of detail, but I just wanted to add that. So I might just join it down to here actually, and then just kind of pull them up very, very lightly. Just like that, and then let's just smoothen a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Right, okay, and then back to painting. Straight in with the heavy crop tool, not the crop tool, sorry, the painting tool. And then straight down the middle again, just around the sides like that. So again, it's just a tiny little bit of detailing that I wanted to add, but I think that's quite cool. I think for the sheep as well, what I want to do is I do want to find the male one, so let's just wait for them all to arrive. So I've got a pretty cool name for the area that I'm from, which I want to name the male ram. So let's just hang fire and wait for him to arrive, because I think I've only got females in here from what I've checked. So you're female, and you're inches, so we're going to call it that just to get that one. And then hopefully, okay, Olivia, female, so this one might be the male. There we go, so we've got the male now. So because this is technically classed as a ram, so our local football team is called Derby County, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call him Rammy, because he is the mascot. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of football, but it's just a little touch to home, I guess. So I think I'm quite happy with that so far. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add some very small little details, just using everything from the Barnyard Pack again. So obviously this whole series is going to be closely related to that. So let's just add some tiny little bit. I want to keep random rotation on. So same as the cow paddock, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add very random bits of hay around, just to make it look like these have been put down by the keepers, just to keep them happy. And I'm probably going to pop one here. And then I'm thinking if we could add a water well, but then again we've got one there. So we could add one here. Do I do that or don't I do that, or could I add one here? Or should we move? Let's move this one. Oh, I left the corn, but it's fine. So I actually put some corn in them buckets when I was bored one evening, but we can remove them. I don't actually think they're... No, they're not even part of the group, so... What I can do is I can just add them straight back in. It's going to be easy enough to do that. They should stay at the same height, but I literally question everything that I do, because I never know why I do any of the stuff I actually do. Just random. Okay, that's fine. So we'll leave the corn in the bucket like that. So for the sheep, what I wanted to do, so I was just in the Barnyard Animal Pack, so I just wanted to add a couple of these as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit more kind of farmy as such. What I'll probably need to do is just literally prop that up against the wall like that, I think. And let's just pull that out. So let's just get that as close just to make it look like it's just leant against the wall. Should be able to actually move this out a little bit if we need to. I think that's fine like that. And then obviously I know we've already got the little wind pump there, but what I think would also be quite effective is having one here. So I think if we had, just check what it looks like from guest visibility. I think that angle is pretty good. Just adds a little bit, and obviously it's kind of against the trees, but that'll be fine. So I've got random rotation on, so I want to be turning that off. I think for the wheat bundles as well, I'm going to turn off the align to surface, and I think I'm literally just going to make like a little bundle of wheat here, and potentially we might move this actually. Right, random rotations, that's fine. And then if I copy and duplicate that, just like that, and that can just be like a little store kind of thing. So let me just filter on the enrichment for these guys. So if we hop over to the enrichment tab, and then we should have all this stuff here for them. So I'm hoping this large one will fit straight in with nothing kind of peeking out the sides. Nope, that's fine, that's brilliant. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of scarecrow feeders. So I think these are really, really good. I know these were added in an earlier pack. We're going to have to use the path trick for that. So if you don't know about this trick as well, I can't remember who I learnt it off. I believe it was ZSHPlays, and he does this quite a lot. But you can actually put enrichment items down like this. So you can add a path, and then what you can do is you can literally come in and delete the path. And then what it will do is it won't add any terrain modifications. It's a little bit annoying with enrichment items, but like I say, it's just one of them things that you kind of have to work around in Planet Zoo. But it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. I think it also does it for these as well. Yeah, it does, but that's fine. Put them in the plants, so I'm not too bothered. Just put them in there. Wait, why is there a peacock in here? Oh, I must have selected. I must have selected a peacock. Sorry, my friend, but you're gonna have to go back. We're gonna take you back to the animal storage. You shouldn't have arrived, but you had a little insight to the zoo already, so that's fine. But no, they'll be coming back at a later date, so don't worry. I will be making. Well, I say making. They're literally going to be free roaming throughout the whole thing. Obviously, apart from here, because this is going to be its own separate caged off thing where nothing can get in and nothing can get out. So it's going to be airlocks and anti-climb fencing. So I'll show you a little sneak peek of that later on as well. But I think for the sheep, I'm quite happy with this so far. So let me just check all the stuff for the animal encounters. So we just need a hygiene station. So I'm not going to use the in-game ones. I'm going to use the ones that I've made because I like them. So just going to copy and paste them. And I think if I pop them on the side here, I think that would be quite good. I think if we pop them there like that, as soon as you come in, wash your hands and get sorted with whatever you need to do. So I think that's fine. So I think we're in a position now where we can actually delete that and let the guests go crazy. So that is pretty much the lamb field. What I'll probably do at some point as well is I'll probably, if they do start breeding, I will make another bit just separate and probably do like a mixed species area because I think that'd be quite cool. But that is pretty much it for the rams. So let's hop on straight over here and then let's start on the alpaca walking area. Okay, so I did something absolutely stupid. I clicked the recording and I clicked it straight off and I was just talking away to absolutely nothing, so I do apologise to that. I will just do a quick run through of what I've done here. So obviously I've laid out pretty much everything. It's nearly done, so like you can say, I really do apologise about that. But I will give you a run through. So just the pieces that we've used, so I will just drag them over just so you can see. So I used this one. Just Control and D that one. Right, so we used this fence piece, and we used this fence piece. Okay, so we used those two. So I used this one pretty much just around the back. So what I've done is I've just created these into a group just so I can align them to the side of the path easier. And then what I've done here is just with this little kind of post and rail one, this more natural looking one, I've used this for the parameter of the alpaca walking experience. So that pretty much just goes all the way around. So obviously the guests can kind of come quite close and they haven't got any obstructive view. Whereas obviously at the back here, this is for expansion, so it's going to be a little bit more secure, so people can still see over, but we're probably going to put some planters and stuff here. So what I did was I just went round the edge. Obviously I've not done the null barrier yet, so I can do that now. But pretty much what I've done is I've just made this little courtyard area. So this is still going to be part of the enclosure as such. Obviously the alpacas will be able to come into this area if they need to, but we've built the little stables. So my idea is for the guests to come in. I've left these two poles, these are barriers, I've left these two here so I can put like a little sign up, say like walk the alpacas or walk with the alpacas or something. So you'll kind of come in, you'll drop all your bags off and stuff in here. So I just built this little shack, and then pretty much these little shelves, these are just little makeshift shelves, they're just from the conservation pack. Obviously console players don't have that pack yet, or any of the, they don't have the pieces for this either, so will be coming at a later date. And then what I've made here is these are just like little stations where you kind of get your, I don't want to say lead because I don't think it's called lead, but just to kind of lead the alpaca whilst you're walking around, because you have like a little kind of, not muzzle, like a halty kind of thing, so you can walk them. So I just made these little things just to kind of mimic like a station where you come and get your stuff, and your alpaca will kind of be waiting for you here, and then you kind of just walk around with it and do as you please. So that was pretty much it for this area. I kind of sped through this. I said I'm going to come back and actually do the detailing. So because obviously you guys missed out on this, I will go through the detailing with everyone. So I think that's only fair. And then what I did here was just the little stables for them. So these might not be usable because of the height, but they might just be able to kind of sit in them or just kind of seek shade in there. So I've made them like that. What I am going to do is I'm just going to kind of style them up a little bit, but what I wanted to do more was just kind of add some more details in here, because obviously I was going to just kind of do it off camera, but obviously I've messed up with the with the recording, so I'm going to do it now for you, so that would make life easier. And like I said, I can't believe that I was literally just sat talking to a blank microphone for so long without even realising. It was literally, it must have just been, I don't even know, about a good 20 minutes. But there we go. It's been a long week, so we'll blame it on that. But it's fine at the end of the day, these things happen. Yeah, I'm still getting the hang of everything, so it is what it is. I don't think we'll lose any sleep over it. So let me just Control and X just so I can duplicate those. I want to bring them out as much as possible. And then I also think as well, I might actually use a wooden beam for the front of this. So I want like a thick wooden beam similar to what we used on the other side actually. So I am probably going to use this one. And just probably recolour it to this nice grey colour. So let's just see what that looks like. And just make sure angle snap is on. Yep. And then I'm just going to align that up just so it's at the edge. And probably to there, I think. So this is going to act as a counter, and it's just going to be on the edge, a bit like me after recording this. There we go. And then what I can do is I could probably add some little props here actually. I could add, see if I think we've got chipboards because I've added them, yeah. So we've got chipboards, so we can actually add some of them. So let's get them added. And I'm going to use this time as detailing. So this could be where they kind of pin stuff. And then there's also, I'm sure it's called a notepad. Or, I don't even know what the name of it is. I literally used it in the last video. If I type in pad, it might come up. No. I literally don't know what it's called. I'm going to have to go over here and find it. Because my mind has gone completely blank. Clipboard. Oh my god, that's so simple. Jesus. Okay, clipboards, that's what we need. So we need plenty of clipboards. Well, not plenty, we just need a couple. Just so they can sign in and out who's actually... who's kind of dropped the bags in and stuff. And then they've got a record of it if needed. So I'm thinking something like that would be good. Like I say, there's not going to be too many people in real life walking around this, but obviously in game it's literally just going to get flooded because the guests go a little bit wild and they just kind of walk wherever they want to. But obviously I can't stop that. It's just one of them things. And then I'm also going to have a look at different wooden pieces because I want to make the banner up here, but I'm not sure what wood to actually use. So I'm thinking if we stick maybe with these, but I might use a fresher looking wood. I'm not going to use chipboard because if that was real life it would literally just melt and not do anything. So maybe we could use that. That could be a very good shout. Just sink it back as far as possible. We're going to get a hell of a lot of flickering with that. If I just literally move it around, I would say I go out a little bit more there. The problem is I don't want it to stick out too far, but then I don't want too much Z fighting either. Let's just have a look what that looks like. We get a little bit here, but it's not the end of the world, so that's fine. I'm going to leave that as it is, because like I said, that's just going to be the sign so people know where they are. So let me just finish off this area, because I never actually finished it before. I have to use that. Okay, so back to the roof pieces. So I'm hoping these go in nicely. So 2 meter. Okay, so the 2 meter eave just on either side. Okay, so let's have a look at some bits and bobs from the souvenir shops. So I'm hoping there's kind of... No, there's not anything that I actually want to use. I want to kind of imitate like backpacks and stuff, but I don't actually think there's bags. That's too big. That's also too big. And I think it would look a little bit silly if we pop them in there actually. I guess if we made not the fencing, sorry, the imitation shelving a little bit bigger, it might work. But then obviously that's only going to be for big bags along the bottom. Let me just see if there's anywhere. No, I can't even join them two together, which is really annoying. But it is what it is. I had to split it to make it work. So let me just flip that round. Does it look the same both sides? And oh yes, these are recolourable. Bro. Okay, so I can colour these whichever colour I want. Just to kind of make it look like these are somebody's that's left them here. Okay, so we could do that. And then I could also put some here. And I can just recolour them. So let's think, maybe if we do red strap, a very dark red bag, and then blue strap, and a very, no, we'll go with black actually. We'll just stick with black because black's easy to work with. So I'm thinking something like that, just like a bag store. Obviously people can just store the stuff here if they need to. What I'll do is I could be cheeky with this. Right, okay, I've got an idea. Whether it works or not, that is a different story, but we'll go with it. This is going to be really tricky. But move this out, just like that. That can kind of look like two separate items, I think. Like I said, I don't want to go too crazy with the detailing and stuff, because so this is just like a little area where you drop your bags off, and they'll probably give you like a little slip or something to rip one off here to say what time you dropped it in. So yeah, so pretty much from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same palette which we've grabbed a couple of times already. So it's pretty much same around the whole of the park. Might actually just grab that whole entire bit, because I feel like that would be a lot easier to work with, and I can obviously make it higher, make it lower if I need to. I think in these middle bits here I might actually make it quite dense, I think. Maybe something kind of like that, just kind of peppering it. That's probably not the right word to use, but that's the word we're using. Just like that. Just so I think it looks a little bit more like a meadow, I think. And then back to the terrain. So same as what we did last time, but obviously we're going to make it look a little bit more worn, because obviously there's going to be alpacas walking around and stuff. We are going to use this all the way around. And we're literally just going to loop it into there. And then I'm going to use the light soils just to kind of make this area look a little bit worn. So obviously I don't particularly want the guests going up here, but with the current settings I can't stop it, unfortunately. What I am going to do is just a little trick that Keith, one of my frequent commenters, very good supporter of the channel, dropped me a suggestion, is putting in all of the enrichment items before you put the barriers down, and that doesn't do that thing where you can't go over, if that makes sense. So saying, for example, if you had a barrier here and you tried to put an enrichment item, it goes red. If you put the enrichment item down before, it doesn't do that. So that's a very good suggestion. Thank you, Keith, for that one. So let me just filter on alpaca. Okay, so the alpaca, and let's just see what they need. So they've got a rubbing post, so I can potentially put that there. Okay, and I am going to recolour them just to some more kind of farmish colours. So maybe something like that, and maybe something like that. Another really cool thing which I saw, I'm not sure where it was, so I'll have to find it and credit down below. I believe it was on TikTok, so I'll see if I can go back. If not, I will try my hardest to find who did this. But just to make the enrichment item look a little bit worn out, if anyone else did see that TikTok, please let me know down below if I can't find it, because I do want to credit the original person for that. But it just gives it like that UV damage look. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I want to blend this in, and that is not going to work, so we're going to use the path trick. And then I'm also going to use the path trick here. And then I'm also going to use the path trick there, and the path trick here, I think, and here as well. Okay, so this will allow me to pop these grazing feeders where I need them. So we're going to pop them there, and then I can pop one into the fence here. And then I can just go around and delete all the fencing, sorry, not the fencing, the path, and just have it where I actually want it. So I'm going to hide that in just like that. Just get that as close as possible. And what this will do is this will bring the alpacas closer to the guests as well, which is quite cool. So let's just delete that out. Like I said in earlier as well, this trick that I learnt was from ZSHPlays. He did that recently in one of his builds, which is pretty cool, and I thought I need to start doing that. and obviously we're adopting the little trick that Keith said as well. So let me just gonna sink these down just a tiny little touch, but just to a point where I'm kind of happy with them. Okay, yep, I like that, that's fine. So I think from here, I think it's just gonna be go crazy with buffalo grass, I think. So let's just grab some buffalo grass, and I'm literally sink it far down just like this. Because I know you're probably thinking that all these farm enclosures everyone's uploading at the minute is quite simple, but if you look at real life farms, they're not really full, if that makes sense. I know for a fact probably around here it's probably lack of government funding or something, I'm not sure, but it's probably down to cash flow that some of the farms are a little bit run down, I would say. Obviously I know it's probably not their fault, so obviously at any opportunity you do get, always support your local farmers, whether that is just buying stuff from the farm shops and stuff. It probably helps them out more than the government potentially does do. So let's just pop them down really far in the ground. So this is just going to add more colour, like I said earlier, in the sheep pen. So it's just literally just to add a little bit of colour. And then what I'm going to do is just so it looks like these areas here are just a little bit more worn out, because obviously they're going to be using these for enrichment. So I kind of want these to just feel like the alpaca kind of just walks to these areas just to use the enrichment. Obviously this is already kind of here, so that's good. And then I can kind of just put a little piece there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smooth that bit off. And then we're just going to make sure that all the edges that I want all got long grass set already. So I'm just going to up the intensity, and just same here as well. So I just think the long grass just adds a nice tiny little bit of texture which you need in these kind of builds. So just making sure obviously the intensity is quite good here. And I think what I'm going to do, I might add a couple of rocks here. I'm not sure. I know it looks kind of like a weird racetrack at the minute, but it's it's fine. I might pull one of these over actually. So I could do it as like a little stop off here. So you could kind of stop here, feed your alpaca, and then carry on. Alright, let's see if there's anything else. We can also use some of the hay bales actually. Let me make sure random rotations off and aligned surfaces off as well. So as always, just gonna literally pop these in all over the place. So this would kind of just entice them to come to certain bits within the enclosure. Quite common to see this on farms and stuff. It's just kind of for them to be fed and stuff, so it's just kind of like a long feed. Also as well, if you are enjoying the content and also enjoying this series, I know quite a lot of you have been engaging. It's been really helpful for the channel, so I do really appreciate that one. If you're not already subscribed, do hit the subscribe button and the bell notification as well, just so you get all the notifications when this series does come out. I've got a couple more episodes on this. I know I said I was going to keep it very short, but I'm really happy with where we're going with this. I quite like it, so I'm more than happy to keep this going. I think I've got quite a lot of plans just to kind of keep it. So yeah, pretty much we're gonna stick this series out and we're gonna finish it to completion, and then we're going back to the Arctic Adventure Zoo. So yeah, pretty much that is where we're going with the rest of the series. I do hope you're enjoying it. So whilst we're waiting, I'm just gonna grab the alpacas. So let me just see if there's any good ones in here. I know you can get some really cool colour morphs, so I'm hoping. Okay, so we've got a piebald one, that's a male. Let me just check before I get any more males how many you can have. So up to 13 males, that's fine, we're only going to have about 5 I think. So let me just purchase couple of these, not that one. Go with that one. I really wanted some more kind of cool colour moss, but we haven't actually got any. There we go, we'll have that one. I think let's just grab the best one out of the bunch. Probably that one. No, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to go too crazy and kind of run ourselves into the ground with alpacas. We'll keep it nice and simple for now. We're not going to select any of the Indian pea files because we did that last time. So let me just, oh, I need to put actually, that was a little bit of a rookie mistake by me. Might add the keeper gate here actually, I think. Or should I add it here? Might actually add the keeper gate here, I think. Or is it going to be... Might be tricky actually, but it's fine. When there's a will, there's a way. We can do whatever we need to do. Whether that's just delete all the pieces out, it's not the end of the world to do that, because luckily they're all in 2 meter pieces. Just a lot of deleting, but say it's not too bad. Let me just do the barrier as well, because I've only actually put this bit down. Completely forgot about the rest of the barrier and forgot that we needed it, which is very silly, but we're there now. So let's go ahead and get that barrier in. Okay, so I'm just going to stretch that over just because sometimes it does go a little bit weird just around the edge of the barrier. Also as well, if you are new to PC, when I'm doing my barriers, if you use the plus and minus key on your keyboard, it does lengthen and shorten the barrier. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. We'll move and we'll go with it. Always creating words on this channel. If you've got any suggestions, pop them below. I always love new words. So let me just finish this off. Let's move that to there. And then I just want to drag that into there. Drag that back there and connect up like that. So that's perfect. Just want a small habitat gate. So I'm hoping, of course not. I'm hoping now that this will fit in. No, why is it not? Doesn't want to fit in at all. And that's really, really annoying. Don't know why. Constructed. Got a feeling it's something to do with this path. Or this. Or this. We will get this in no matter what. There we go. It was one of the paths. 100% one of the paths. But it's alright, we've got to fix. So let me get rid of the curb. I'm not happy with the placement of that at all. And hopefully, there we go, perfect, just like that. Okay, so I might just have to do that like that. I'll just have to repaint the kind of soil lines back in, but that's fine. I don't mind too much doing that. So I can't actually believe how fast this is all coming along. Like I've literally, obviously off camera, I've been adding like little details like these here. So I've literally just been making like little planters, just making very slight little amendments. Oh, we've had little baby chicks. Oh, that's a really cool one. I presume that's going to be a speckled chick, because this one here is like pure white. I don't know. Oh my god, we've had loads. Jesus Christ. I don't know much about chickens, but if you know your stuff about chickens, let me know. That looks like a seagull. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Look like a seagull from far away. Yeah, I presume these babies... Oh, jeez, there's loads of it. I presume these babies are from speckled. Have a look. So it's our girl Olga. She's been birthing these ones. This is Declan and Rosie's. There was another speck. Oh, hell up. Declan and Rosie have been very busy. Oh, this is Griff and Olga. That was about equal. Might actually put these on contraceptives, just to be on the safe side. I've also put the pigs on contraceptives as well, also to be kind of be on the safe side, because I don't want it to go absolutely crazy with pigs. So yeah, so let's get the alpacas into the enclosure. So let me just select all and send them straight in. Obviously this isn't going to work as I want it to, but I'm just going to have to kind of imagine how I want until there's a potential that the guests can kind of stay on the path as well. I don't think they will, but it is what it is. We're just going to kind of go with it. Okay, so whilst we're waiting for that, I did have a couple of, well, I had one name suggestion and another one which might turn a couple of heads. So I had the name suggestion by a Shane Panda to actually call one of the pigs Babe from the film. So we're going to do that one for the female. So standard. Oh, not like that. Just turn my caps lock off. And then the other one, I do apologise if it's offending, but we are going to call the second, where's this younger one? So this was a name suggestion by Keith. We're going to call him BLT. So quickly moving along from that, they've been named and the names are now set. So obviously we still need a couple of names for the sheep as well. So we've got quite a few that need naming. Oh Jesus Christ, they're thirsty. Let's give them some water. As always, using the little item that I made. So I'm going to put that there, and that should be fine for them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've got 8 sheep that need naming. So they're all female. So any name suggestions, honestly, all suggestions are welcome. Kind of first come, first serve. If you've got any, pop them down below and I will name them in the next episode. So let's just unpause and let's get the alpacas in as well. I have noticed as well that piece that I put here, sorry, pause again, keep pausing and unpausing, but I want that piece back in. There we go, that's fine. Okay, right, unpause and let's see the alpacas. We'll just have to kind of patch this up, but it should be. So I know this is annoying that I keep pausing and unpausing, but I just want to do this before, because I know for a fact I will get distracted by the alpacas and I won't fix it. So if I do it now, that gives me a reason to actually sort it before the alpacas arrive. Okay, and then that gives me a little bit of a guide as to where we were with that. Okay, just like that. Right, and now we are actually in a position to receive the alpacas. Okay, so the first one's on his way in. Hopefully this is a really cool one. Ooh, wow, they're so fluffy. Okay, so we've got... I really need to start putting them in the quarantine, but because I'm playing sandbox mode, I always forget. Oh, look. Oh, I hope they go. I hope they don't stay, because they look really grisly. I didn't actually think alpacas like scrapped with each other. I thought they were pretty cool. Oh my god, they're so dopey, I love them. God, I love them. These are literally my mum's favourite animal. So. She's actually walked them before, which is really, really cool. I also think there's an animation in game that these spit now, which is kind of scary. I hope it doesn't spit at the camera whilst I'm walking. But they are really, really cool. I know they're very similar to the llamas, but I feel like alpacas are just a lot cooler. So let's just wait for the rest of them to arrive. Oh, I'm going to check as well. Just going to check the heat map just to make sure. Yes, so they can go in the hard shelter, which is good. They can also go in this little courtyard as well. I don't really want them to, actually. So I think I might just try and just shimmy this around a bit. Even if it means literally just kind of moving this a little bit shorter. Which... don't know how they're going to get in here. Because there's no path to get in there. So I don't really know what that is. But, ooh, the dark one's just around. Let's have a look. These ones are so cool. But they've really got the fur and everything so perfect with these. Like, literally look at that fur. Let me put the light on. Like, that fur is crazy. Aww. I'm gonna love these. I never thought I'd be this obsessed with them. And I can't believe I've left this long before doing them. But they are really, really cool. And I feel like everyone's quite happy to see them, to be fair, which is cool. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy with that. I'm going to move this pack just out of the way. I'm not going to go over there because I've got designs over there that I don't want people to see just yet. I've literally hid them away so far. Because they literally used to be, without zooming out too much, they were literally here. When I did the first video just showing you all the pack, I built something which I'm going to put down here, I think. Which is quite cool, which I've not seen before, so I've hidden it for now. So I might do that in the next episode, actually, because obviously after that we're doing the secret rescue. Not sure if there's any clues here, but not teasing anymore. I know I keep doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much the 2 pens here. So all it is now is pretty much the gift shop. So I'm going to pop back into pause mode. I'm going to risk everything and use the in-game souvenir shops. So there's actually a model, which is this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to amend it. So I'm thinking, if I pop it here, obviously you can kind of go into the group and you can just kind of move whichever bits you don't want. So I'm thinking to keep all of these and then just getting rid of all the plaster pieces. Yeah, so basically what I'm thinking is just kind of deleting all these out and just replacing them with the European stone pieces which we used previously. I'm going to get rid of the roof as well because I don't want this roof. I want to use maybe something cool, but let's just let's have a play around and see what we can build. So I'm just going to go into the European piece. So literally just using the same pieces as before. I just need the shop window, I believe it's called, which is that one. So this is just going to kind of be the same all the way around. Oh, I've deleted that piece out. What I can do here is I can literally just copy and paste it. And then we're going to use... We're not going to do that, so the Z button. And we're going to come out of this. I'm just going to go back in to make sure that's fine. So I don't want the grid size to be 0 because it just kind of throws me off a little bit. It's doable, but it just throws me off too much. So I just like to stick with an actual kind of block which I can use. Okay, so here we're going to need one of the 2 meters. So just like that. And at the top we are going to need 3 meter. And then same on this side. And then we're going to need 2 meter and 2 meter, just like that. So pretty much that's what I'm going to run with, I think. I'm just going to delete these bits out, so I don't need these just yet. And then I'm literally just going to duplicate, put them straight in like that. So let me just have a look through roofing and just see what I can use. So thinking of using the clay tile ones, not these ones. There's like a grey one. I can never remember the actual name. Not them, because they're actually. Let's try these. I feel like the terracotta could work. Jesus Christ, no, that's horrible. I'm not using that. Maybe this one. I mean, that looks cute. We can do that. I like that. I can stick with that. I don't think I'm going to lose any sleep tonight if I use that one. I don't know whether to keep these or not. Let's see what it looks like with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of them. I don't want to use the canopies. Like I say, I would create my own, but I don't know if there is still problems, but I've had it before where guests just literally get stuck and you cannot get them out. So I'm going to avoid that at all costs. What I'm going to use here is just like an old kind of cobblestone looking thing. So I want to align to this grid. I want this to be like a little walk down, and then I want like a tiny little cottage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some inspiration images, because I need to kind of figure out, because obviously cottages are a little bit smaller. There's quite a few around here which I could take inspiration from, but obviously I don't want it to be pretty much like a rip-off. So obviously they're a lot shorter in build style. They do just use like this kind of brick all the way around, and then obviously they've kind of got roofs, like sorry, the windows kind of in the roof. So I'm thinking if I just stick with the European pieces, I should be okay, because I feel like that can create quite a cool cottage. So I think if I stick at potentially 4 meters as like the absolute maximum height. I know that sounds absolutely crazy. Let me just move that, because I want it on this side. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just duplicate that. So there's going to be no purpose for this just yet. There will be in the future, but I'm not sure when. So I'm thinking potentially like that, I think. What I might do is I might shorten these and just make my own 3 meter. Because obviously it's not going to be an exact replica as such. But what I do want to do is just have this bit shorter on the side. And I'm going to use these bits. So what they're going to do is they're just going to kind of pad that like that. And then on this side, we're going to use... It's not liking that. There we go. We're going to use this as the main kind of roof. Just like that, I think. And then I might actually stick with this kind of roof, you know, just so it like all aligns. But obviously this is kind of like the old building that was here, and this was potentially like an outer building which has been redone. I want to kind of keep it so it looks not so much like a twin building, but just that it's been here a long time, and obviously they've kind of respected the heritage at the farm and just left it. So I think I'm going to stick with that, to be quite honest. I do quite like that, and it's a little story I can run with as well. Could potentially use these just as like something where they've not so much attempted to, but put some kind of reinforcement just to stop the building falling down or something. Obviously I can potentially get closer to that, because I think we can use singular breeze blocks actually. Let's have a look at these pieces. Let's have a look. So if we do breeze block, yes, so these here, so they would fit in perfectly actually. And I don't know why I knew this existed, because I've literally never used this before. Okay, so what was at the end then, but we're not. Okay, that's fine. So if we just get that in as close as possible. Just like that. And then it's literally just a case completing that around the sides. Well, let's get that aligned again, sorry. Like that. Okay, I think that works. I'm not going to add the metal beams because obviously it's going to be an old building. So I want to keep it as kind of rustic looking as possible. I think for the roof, kind of, the ones we have over here, they kind of either have like that, I think it's called thatch roof, but the thatch roof in game is very, very over the top. It's kind of like that, but we don't really have the pieces to kind of use that. So I'm thinking more of like a tile. Obviously could use that, but again that's Indonesian themed. Could use these and kind of recolour them to kind of like a nice browny grey colour. So let me just find the best shade of brown that I can use. So maybe we use something like that. Thought that could work really, really nicely. It just gives the building a little bit of character, actually. Just make sure that all aligns, because actually we've got a ridge here, which is good. But for some reason, oh, that's fine. It goes on either side. Brilliant. Oh, let's go ahead and delete that piece at the end. Okay. Oh, that's not. Yeah. Okay, let's delete that. So, I think that could potentially work. But then I've also got another idea now. Now I've built that. I said I was going to leave that completely blank, but that's given me an idea for the next episode, I think. And I really like that idea. And I'm going to do that. Yes, we're going to do that. Okay. I'm going to tell you what it is, because I want to keep that under wraps for now. But yeah, I've got a good idea. I'll give you a little clue by removing that. And coincidentally, it fits into a little something. So that's fine. So let's just leave that as it is, because obviously we've got that already in. Let's just recap what we've done so far this episode. So we've built this enclosure here. So this is for the Hill Radnor Sheep. So these are the Welsh sheep. So this is, again, an animal experience encounter. Sorry, I keep calling it an experience, but it's not, it's an encounter. This is an animal encounter. So we've got the hand washing station. I did a little bit more of an in-depth kind of run through of that on the first ever review of the Barnyard Animal Pack, which delete these. And then stupidly I forgot to hit record, and I pretty much did all of this enclosure and was talking into a blank mic for about half an hour, 20 minutes. So I just did a quick run through of what we did here. I was also speaking about these as well. So I saw this on TikTok actually. So these are the original colours, but if you make them pastel, it looks like it's been exposed to the sun for too long. But for the life of me, I cannot find the video. So if anyone else saw that video, please let me know who it was below so I can tag who inspired this, because I've literally searched Planet Zoo in my recent videos and it just won't come up. Whether it's been deleted, I'm not 100% sure. So I do apologise that I can't give the appropriate credit to that. But I think it's quite effective, so I would like to credit the person that made that video. And yeah, pretty much that's it. In between the builds, I've just been adding little bits just so we can kind of get ahead of ourselves, and then just kind of running through what I've done. So this is just like a little farmer's market. We've got the alpaca experience, and then obviously this area here is going to be more of like a, I don't want to say retail, but it's going to have probably like a little food court here, a couple of food trucks and all that. And then we've got the walkthrough. I don't want to show that corner too much because there's some secrets up there. And then next episode we are going, let me just hide the little spoiler. It's probably out in the open now by now. But yeah, we're building something here. So this is a base for the fencing. So this is custom fencing I've made myself. I've already got the blueprint in my library, which I've saved. So yeah, that's it. It's pretty much going to be a completely new area. It's going to be kind of like a loop around. It's going to have this kind of fencing all the way around. There's going to be a little hut to house whatever it is, and the guests will be able to engage with the animal. Not sure what that was in the corner there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have been enjoying this series, hit that subscribe button. I know quite a lot of you have recently subscribed, so thank you so much for that. It means the world. As a very small channel. Obviously any engagement is very much appreciated. Likes, comments and shares, you know, I love them, and I'll always thank you for those. So yeah, if you have enjoyed that one or you haven't enjoyed this one, drop a comment down below, let me know. I love engaging with you guys, so I try and get back to, well, we'll get back to all the comments actually. So drop a comment down below, say hello and have a chat. Join the Discord as well. All the links to Instant Gaming and social media are down below. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys, thank you.